Today we're checking out Xilonen's signature weapon, Peak Patrol Song. We're gonna be maxing it and seeing if anyone else can use it. Starting with, of course, the maxing part, and I think this will take up a pretty big chunk of today's video because, yeah, I really didn't prepare very much. Thankfully, we are recording Sunday, so everything is open. I guess I did grab quite a few of the mirrors. I feel like we should still probably have to farm, and also the little monsters and the elites. I'm kind of really scared about the elites because I more or less just fought them when I came across them. We've already run out of the things. We're gonna check the shop real quick. I think I did buy them already. Well, we can grab these. I know we're going to need a lot of those. Ooh, we didn't. Okay, thank God. And sure, we'll grab those as well. So the elite enemy drops. It's still, I don't think will be enough unless we farmed more than I thought we did previously, but we'll see. We can already get it to the 4th star, so we're making a lot more progress than I thought we would. So now we only need the highest mats except for the mirrors, of course. Oh yeah, I actually just realized we can just do this now, equipped weapon ascension, and we can see exactly how close or far we are. All right, cool. Let's just start with that. Get all of Sucrose stuff, and then we got 5 bonus on 30. Thank you very much, Sucrose. We are still gonna make all the blues because we don't need the greens anymore. 5 bonus on 30. But yeah, it actually looks like we easily have enough things. We have 46 out of 27. How about the elite enemy drops though? We're just gonna make all of them. Can you keep the streak up, Sucrose? 3 on 30 is still, you know, decent. We need 41 purples. Okay, we definitely gotta farm some elites at least. Unless you give me like 14 or 15 bonus. 3, still pretty good. So we're missing 11 purples. I think I could probably deal with that just in my own world. Let's see about mirrors though. Ayaka always performs pretty well on this sort of stuff. So let's see. 2 bonus on 6. That's what I'm talking about. Jesus Christ. And we can just make all 16 of those purples as well. 1 bonus on 16. Less good, of course. Oh, that's interesting. So it actually sets the golds to 2 by default, so you still have enough purples. It is slightly smarter than I first thought it was. 11 purple elite drops and 4 gold mirrors. Let's start with the mirrors. I imagine dropping 5 condensed will probably be enough, but let's see. Oh, this dude. I have some of the fastest runs, I think, ever with this guy when I have a properly set up team. Even that one was pretty fast at, what, 17 seconds? Watch this next one, though. I think we're actually going to start with Emily if we want to be really quick with it. Pretty good drop there, though. Got a raw purple. So yeah, we're just going to drop Emily's E down, get the burst in there, go to Kniech, and then boop, boop, boop. In a perfect world, he would get 1 shot, and it'd be like a second faster, but it's still an 11-second clear. No purple, no purple. Maybe if we just start with Benny? I'm not sure we can 1-shot him anyway without a little better stats. Damn, 3 purples. I think we're already good, but let's do this last one anyway. Here we go. Come on. Just 1 shot anyway? Be strong? Okay, that must have been a 9. Yes, sub 10 second. I think that's the first time I've ever seen that. All right, we're back here now. We're just going to make all the purples to start. See if we got enough. No bonus there. 1 bonus. All right, whatever. And it looks like we can make those 4. It defaulted to that. Definitely one of the most surprisingly easy ones because these guys will take like 1 run through. Like I can just use the book here. We already got a purple drop. All right, nice. We got a pair of them here. No purple from the first, but there is one at, no, never mind. I think the colors were like mixing together to trick my brain or something. Okay, yeah, it's definitely the fire mixing with the blue that makes it look purple, but still no purple from that guy. I just remember a lot of them are really annoying to get to. Okay, one big reason we even have Xilonen is so that we can do stuff like this. Yes, okay, that was much less painful than usual. At least there's another pair up here. Oh, my bin boy. This one did drop a purple, and this one also did. Damn, crazy. Isn't that crazy, guys? Another purple from this pair. Only 1, but still pretty good. What's wrong with this one? He's just sleeping. And he's not taking damage. I had to kill the minions, apparently. Yes, purple. Another purple. I honestly think we have enough, but we'll get the ones in this area at least. Wait a minute. Did I ever give Kniech his gear back that I took from Mualani? No. So we should have actually been able to easily 1-shot that domain enemy. Oh, actually Xilonen has it now because I was trying her as a DPS, and Mualani has the Cinder City set. And I wonder why I have issues. Good thing I fixed that after all the farming is done. Actually, there is one more over here, so sure, why not? Let's see what you can do now. Not critical. Okay, well, I don't care. All right, there we go. Final star and level 90. Like that's 82 def. I cannot say, oh, well, you know, base stats are going to be good for a lot of characters. Nope. I am curious about something though, because while I was raising Xilonen, there was a little section where I compared her to Kazuha, and I said if Xilonen actually had her weapon, we should be able to easily max out this 25.6 all elemental damage bonus. So first of all, I do want to give all of her artifacts back that Mulan now has for some reason. So I'll check that out in a second. Let's just take a look at the passive itself. Gain Ode to Flowers after normal or plunging attacks hit an opponent, def increased by 8%, and gain 10% all elemental damage bonus for 6 seconds. So right off the bat, it is a very easy passive to trigger. It's basically just 2 normal attacks, and then you have both stacks, 20% all elemental damage bonus and 16% def. When this effect reaches 2 stacks or the second stack's duration is refreshed, increase all nearby party members all elemental damage bonus by 8% for every 1000 def the equipping character has, up to a maximum of 25.6. So first of all, this weapon was literally made for her, because how you play Xilonen is E and then 2 normal attacks. You'll have the 2 stacks. She'll have the 20% all elemental damage bonus, the 16 def, and then the weapon passive is fully triggered. Even so, for pretty much everyone else, especially sword users that are quick attackers, doing 2 normal attacks is not a big deal. So I would be pretty confident in saying every character can proc this pretty easily. And because it still gives the team up to 25.6 all elemental damage bonus, even potentially for non-def scalers, it could be interesting. So we do have to do some math to figure out exactly how much def we need to max out the passive, because they made it weird for some reason. 25.6 is 1.6% more than 24, which would just be 3000 def. I'm going to calculate this the only way my dumb self knows how to, and that's basically by figuring out how much damage bonus we get per 1 def, which is 0.008. 1.6 divided by 0.008 equals 200. Now that we have a guess though, I guess we can check our work. Basically saying 200 times 0.008, which is 1.6. Let's go. Well, I don't think I needed to do that. Oh my god. I'm something of a mathematician myself. You need 3200 def to max out the passive. 3900, that's overkill. We could probably get away with giving her something else like a crit circlet and still max out the passive. But sure, let's see if we still have enough with no def sub and no def circlet. Still have enough at 3400. So if you have like a decent sub on Circlet and Goblet, you could probably just build her like a DPS and still have 3200, especially because we're not even counting the 20% she gets when a Night Soul Burst happens. So damn, okay, the passive is super easy to max out. For now, I'm just gonna give her her def back and talk about who else can use it. Let's head to sword users. We do have quite a few. 20 with the release of Xilonen. Cool, cool. Let's get the super obvious one out of the way first. Chiori. She is technically a split scaler, attack and def. I actually do want to give the weapon to her and look at her base stats here. Her base stats are 865 attack and 953 def, and because the fact artifacts have 58.3 def versus 46.6 attack, it's just easier to get more def on her. The multipliers in her skill are also higher, scaling with def than attack. It's been a while since I reviewed her, but my current thoughts, like, you should just build her with def, and if you get attack rolls, it's fine. Also, like in a Navia comp, Benny would boost her damage further, so I don't know. In her case, I kind of just feel like the attack part is more of a bonus than anything else. So yeah, Chiori, I do think it could be good for her. Potentially better than her signature, depending on what you're trying to do, because Uraku only buffs her own damage, whereas Peak Patrol Song buffs everyone's damage. Much like Xilonen, I'm sure you can build her like a DPS and still max it pretty easily. We're gonna try that real quick, just in good old Golden Troop. Okay, I lied. It's a little bit harder to get to 3200 than I originally thought. Like, we do have some pretty good def rolls here, and of course the massive 82 def from the weapon, but we're only at 2926. We're already up to 3117 just because she exists now. Uh-oh, actually refreshing my memory about how she works. She might not be the best user of it. You can just do the 2 normal attacks before you do E, but it's something you're gonna have to pay attention to. Otherwise, you lose the passive buff for the upcoming character. Whatever. First thing I'm interested in is just, so doing that and getting the bonus. So you can see we do have the up arrows now. And in fact, yes, we did break past the 3270, even completely solo without any other buffs happening. Her build really isn't exceptional right now with 74 crit to 105 crit damage. I think it would be worth it to sacrifice a bit of def so that her stats are a little better at least. I don't think we'll get all the way up to 3200 in this new build, basically 3100. So we're losing out on what, like not even a full percentage of elemental damage bonus. I think it's better since we were able to give her like 20 more crit damage. Oh yeah, it is actually reflected in the stat page. We lost literally like 1%. I guess I am kind of curious what her little puppets are doing. Was that a 16K? That looks pretty good. I mean, completely solo, of course, right now, and 42K burst, not horrible. At first, I thought it would be a lot less personal damage than Uraku, but when we just objectively look at the passives here, Peak Patrol Song might be slightly better. Uraku gives us 20% def, Peak Patrol gives us 16, so a little bit of a loss there. Peak Patrol gives us around 45 elemental damage bonus, whereas Uraku gives us 48% skill damage bonus. Sure, a little less than Peak Patrol, but all element damage bonus counts for every attack she does, including her burst, which isn't a huge part of her damage. Obviously, elemental skill damage is the most important by a lot, but it's still something, and I think that little advantage pushes it, you know, at least closer to equal footing ground just in terms of personal damage. But also Peak Patrol buffs the entire team. Uraku doesn't do anything for the team. So purely passive wise, damn, I kind of have to give it to Peak Patrol. I do still think her personal damage will suffer because Uraku has the massive 88 crit damage on it versus 82 def. So I would say, you know, in some specific teams, at the very least, this is just a straight up better weapon, which is pretty rare. You don't see that super often. Like if everyone in your team is capable of dealing, you know, a decent amount of sub DPS, and then you have the main DPS there, that 25 element damage bonus to everyone can go a long way. So enough with Chiori. She's honestly not the most interesting character in the game. I didn't even get her to C1. At the end of the day, she is a good unit, but also very niche. I want to talk about Bennett, and before you scream at me, yes, I'm aware it has low base attack. I just want to explore it a bit because Benny is like one of the most universally used supports ever, and I want to at least talk about it. Because most of the swords we have don't buff the team in any sort of way. Freedom Sworn might be a little bit annoying because you need to do 2 reactions with Benny. Ki doesn't work that well at all because you need to do 3 elemental skills, but Peak Patrol is just 2 normal attacks. That takes like less than half a second. I do want to see how much base attack we lose though, just by switching to Peak Patrol Song from Miss Splitter. I know Aquila has a slightly higher base attack, but I haven't gotten around to raising it yet. 865 versus 733. So we lose like what, 130 base attack, which I think translates to around 150 actual attack loss. Also for the newer players, Bennett's attack buff purely scales with base attack. So, you know, even if we have to build him higher def to get more of the bonus, that doesn't affect his attack buff. Only this white number here. I do want to get the exact amount of attack boost we're losing, so we're just literally going to test it. We are currently in Peak Patrol Song. Oblige, I guess, is also procced. It doesn't really matter. Kanich has 2129 attack. Benny is holding on to Peak Patrol Song. We're just going to do his burst and swap to Kanich and not do anything else at all. So we're gonna check now. He's at 3363. Yes, the attack boost does include Oblige. We are gonna be keeping him that way for a total attack boost of 1, 2, 3, 4, which is pretty funny. All we're gonna do now is go back to Miss Splitter and just do the same thing here on these guys. Swap to Kanich. Check out that damage boost. So now we're at 3547 instead of 3363. It was still zoomed in, but there wasn't much to see there anyway. 3547 minus 21, so it's 1418 for a total attack difference of 184. So you're losing 184 attack in exchange for potentially 25% all elemental damage bonus. That is not uninteresting, I would say. It's still very important that Benny has a lot of energy recharge, so we can't sacrifice that for more def. I also wouldn't want to sacrifice Oblige. We don't have any def goblets or circlets. It wouldn't be too hard to strong box them. Just for now though, I want to see how much def he has with a def circlet and goblet. I really don't think he needs to heal that much more, so building him like that, we're not really sacrificing much. I will still keep the ER and then def goblet and def circlet. We are sitting at 2500. It's a little bit lower than I was hoping, honestly. Our current flower has no def on it, but we do have one here with def percent and ER, so like the 2 most important stats in this case. But let's just assume we don't change anything else. I mean, 2500 def still gets us a little over 20% of the 25 all element damage bonus for the whole team. It's not that bad. 184 attack or around 20% element damage bonus. For most cases, probably not that far apart in terms of actual damage output. And then you really have to make it work. Like strong boxing, it's like it's probably not even worth it. I don't know. He is still an interesting case, I guess, especially like because I use Benny with my Ito team and Ito doesn't care about, you know, attack buffs that much. So I think in his case, the 20% all element damage bonus would go a lot further. Or you just get C2 Xilonen, and I don't think I'd be taking Benny with my Ito anymore anyway. So yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, all I can really do is present my findings. You're trading a bit of attack for a bit of elemental damage boost. If you think that suits your needs, then I guess it could be. I just wanted to talk about him, man. He's an interesting use case, but I think I spent way too much time on it already. Obviously Albedo, basically just like the previous version of Chiori. His sort of off-field skill damage seems to purely be def, so it might be even like more interesting in his case. The burst damage scales with attack though. That's kind of weird. I never used Albedo that much, to be honest. I'm not seeing anyone else that could use it super well. Like we could stretch and say some of them might be able to use it, but like its massive def just makes it not a good weapon for characters that don't care about def, which is most of them. Perfect for Xilonen, of course. I'd say it can be used very well on Chiori and Albedo, depending on what you're trying to do. It is possible there's someone I'm missing, but I am kind of focused on like the team buffing potential. So yeah, it is a pretty interesting weapon. We don't see many these days that don't have crit rate or crit damage. And while I think the passive is easy to trigger and can be useful in like a lot of situations, it's really the main stat in this case that's too niche, which is different. So there's that at least. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Dropping a like or subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.